We summarize here properties of ellipses with center at 0, 0. We discussed in detail the case where the foci were on the x-axis. So let's briefly review what we learned about such ellipses. The equation of the ellipse with the center at 0, 0 and the foci on the x-axis was x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal 1. And the b was a positive number such that b squared was a squared minus c squared. So the center was at the origin. The foci were at the point c, 0, negative c, 0, where c was the distance between the focus and the center. We found that the vertices are at the points a, 0 and negative a, 0, and a is the distance between the vertex and the center. The b was the distance between the center and the point on the y-axis, the endpoint of the minor axis. We notice that a is greater than c and a has to be greater than b, and we obtain the graph of that ellipse. Now, if the foci are on the y-axis, then we will have a similar results. The equation of such ellipse is going to be x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared is equal 1. And the b is still defined by the same equation. B squared is equal a squared minus c squared. C will be at the origin, so it's at the point 0, 0. Now, if we define a C to be the distance between focus and the center in similar way as in the previous case, then the foci, now on the y-axis, are going to be at the point 0, C, and that should be 0, negative C. And the vertices are going to be also on the y-axis, and they are going to be on the point 0a and 0, negative a, with a being still the distance between vertex and the center. The b is the distance between the center and the point on the minor axis. The relation between a, b, and c is still the same. The only difference, noticeable difference, is in the shape of the ellipse. Because of the different position of the major axis, the ellipse with foci on the x-axis is longer than wider. The ellipse with the foci on the y-axis is wider than longer. Notice also that in the equation, when we looked at the equation of the ellipse with the foci on the x-axis, we notice that the numbers below x squared determine x-intercepts, a and negative a, and the number below y squared determine the y-intercepts. The same thing is true for the ellipse with the foci on the y-axis. The number below x squared determines x-intercepts. Those intercepts are b and negative b. The number below y squared determines the y-intercept, and these are a and negative a.